Good morning everyone, this is Michael here with my first ever video for my new channel, Mike's Gear Reviews. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos within the future here, mainly to do with knife reviews, but I'm also going to be reviewing some more outdoor survival, hiking, camping gear, etc. That's the kind of stuff that I'm into, and since I got into YouTube of late, I've subscribed to a few channels where I've been watching gear reviews, and I really felt like I needed to do my own kind of reviews. I'd like to be able to put in my 2 cents about certain things, because I found that reviews on YouTube have been really helpful for me when it came to purchases, because I found that listening to someone and actually watching their opinion on a particular piece of gear has helped me decide whether to buy it or not. I've decided to christen my YouTube channel, per se, with my favourite knife at the moment, which is the Ontario Spec Plus 2, or SP2 as it's known, Air Force Survival Knife by Ontario, obviously. The Ontario Knife Company is one of my favourite brands at the moment. Super affordable, mid-range, different knives they make. They have made a couple of folders, like the Rat series, the Rat 1 through to the Rat 3 folding knife series, and fixed blades. And they've also brought out, obviously, the Air Force survival knives. The first Air Force survival knife came with a wooden handle and a smaller blade, and it also came with a sharpening stone in the sheath. This one is the next model up. It's the Spec Plus 2. It doesn't come with a sharpening stone in the sheath, as you can see here, but I am absolutely thrilled with this knife. It's brilliant. I haven't taken this out in the field much. I actually have a second one that I use a lot. This is more or less the one that I keep at home. I don't use it very much. When my other one decides to, that needs a rest, then I'm going to start using this one. But I'll get started with the review. I just felt that I needed to do an introduction to myself on the first video. So here goes nothing. This is my first ever video review, so please go easy on me. Alright, so I'll start being formal here. The Ontario Spec Plus 2 Air Force Survival Knife comes with a 10 5/8 of an inch overall blade construction. It's full tang. The blade itself is a black epoxy coated 1095 carbon steel sawback blade. It's a 5.5 inch blade overall from tip to base. It has a black grooved Cratton handle with a lanyard hole in the end. And like I said earlier, it does have a full tang construction, so it's quite a sturdy blade. The lanyard hole, personally, I probably wouldn't be using. It is quite a generous lanyard hole, so you could put maybe some paracord rope through there. Obviously, lanyard holes can be used, or not, basically. You don't have to use the lanyard hole. I personally don't use the lanyard holes because I just don't like to. Some of my knives do have rope through the end, but I find that the ones with rope through the end are generally smaller knives that I don't want to drop in the field. So moving on, this knife is made in the USA, so you can be sure that it's of a quality construction. It's not made in China. So even though, I'm not really a fan of the Chinese made knives, even though a lot of them are, designed and produced in the USA, this isn't made in China. This is actually made in the USA. It did come sharp out of the box, but, personally I don't really mind if it comes shaving sharp out of the box or not, because I end up sharpening it myself anyway, and I make sure that when I sharpen it, it ends up razor sharp. So you could use this knife for anything other than skinning or dressing, although if you had the skill, I guess you could use it for skinning and dressing. Being a survival knife, I guess it's designed for survival situations, and if you were stranded, out in the wilderness, part of surviving would be hunting and killing game, and you'd have to skin and dress animals, so I guess you could use it for that if you were skilled enough. It just wouldn't be the cleanest job, unless you were really skilled at it. I picked this knife up for $100, right on $100 basically, from extremesas.com.au. Dino is the owner of that website, and I basically buy all my blades through him because his website is absolutely brilliant. He has a great selection of knives from overseas and Australian made. And every purchase I've made from him, the post has come quickly. It's been great pricing, excellent communication. So I trust his website completely, and I'll be sure to be going back to his website for more. So the Ontario Spec Plus 2 is a multi-use knife. It's designed for a wide range of military, rescue and survival uses. It features a very practical design. It comes with a Bowie clip point style blade with serrations on the spine of the blade. And it's basically designed for a very practical cutting and sawing applications. The saw blade on the spine, look, I mean, honestly, I personally wouldn't be using it all that often, but you could use this for, sawing through rope, maybe through thinner bits of wood, etc. A lot of people have come up with their own little ways of using these serrations. They do come in handy in bushcraft and survival situations, but ordinarily I wouldn't be using this. The other thing I might mention, I don't know if this is right in the camera or not, but the other thing I might mention about the serrated spine is the fact that this is actually a really thick blade. It is quite thick. So the thickness of the spine, I guess, might take away from the serrated edge. It might actually not be so good. I guess if the blade was thinner, it might actually work a bit more effectively, but again, I haven't actually used the serrated blade for anything yet, so I might be proven wrong next time I take it out and use it. The best part, I guess, about this knife, I think, is the handle. It's a really comfortable, grippy Craton handle with grooves in it. So it has, several grooves along the handle here. It has finger guards for non-slip application. As you can see here, I'll try and show you. With the Craton handle, it actually does bend a little bit. If you can see there, it does actually bend. So, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm actually saying that's a good thing. It actually is really comfortable. So if you were using it in this style here, and you were, say, you had to push really hard up against there, I guess that's actually quite comfortable. The other good thing I find is obviously the blade here doesn't go all the way up to the end. So if you had to, if you had to put your finger above the grip, you could. There's a small space here, but I would be saying that's pretty dangerous because obviously there's not much space between my finger and the blade there, as you can see. So obviously you want to be thinking of safety first, especially out in the field. You want to try and avoid injury because obviously there's no help for a little while. So yeah, safety first, kids. Anyway, so obviously the full tank construction, it comes in really handy for survival and bushcraft situations, chopping, cutting and batoning. The 1095 carbon steel blade will hold an edge. It's very tough, but it will rust. So over time, you want to keep this knife as dry as you can, because if you keep it in damp or wet conditions, this knife will rust eventually. What I might add as well is the clip point could be, very practical for uses such as gutting animals or fishing as well. So you can always, that clip point can always come in handy in survival situations. It can be very practical, and you could put that to good use. So that's basically the knife itself. I might go on to the sheath now and just mention that really quickly. I'll leave the knife there. So the sheath itself comes with just a leather back. Not sure of the quality of the leather, but it is a belt sheath, so it's got the belt loop here. Haven't personally used this on my belt, but obviously I think with the length that it is, it's probably about half my thigh. I think that would actually be quite comfortable to wear on your belt. It comes riveted and stitched. I like the idea of riveting and stitching together. I think that's really secure and safe. There's no chance of this knife slipping out of the sheath because of the two strap clips up here. So when you put the knife into the sheath, I like to put the blade edge to the left generally. I think that's how most sheaths like the knife to go in anyway. But so you clip it over the handguard here, and it's a really tight clip up the top. There's no way you could fit anything down the side of that, so it's a really, really tight construction. There's no way this knife's coming out, so it's very safe. It comes with a little loop down the bottom here, just a plastic loop. You could, you know, tie a string to that. It actually came with a string attached to it, like a shoelace, but I took that off straight away because I found it quite annoying. You know, some people might like to keep it on there, but I wouldn't personally. But the sheath, yeah, it's just a pretty standard sheath. I don't know if it's really great quality, but it's just got the Cordura on this side and the leather on this side, and it's got a riveted belt loop. So pretty simple, and you know, I like to keep things simple. I don't like things to be overcomplicated. Yeah, so that's basically my first ever review of the Ontario Spec Plus 2 Air Force Survival Knife. Again, I purchased this through extremesas.com.au. Head over to the website and give it a browse. I'm sure you'll find something on that website that you'll find that you'll want to buy, because Dean's got a lot of blades on that website, and not just blades either. He's got hunting, camping, survival gear at great prices, and really quick postage too. So if you want something quick, you get it from that website. Anyway, I'm going to head off. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe this video. I'm going to be coming out with more videos real soon on different knives, and I'll see you again soon.